Hello there, welcome to Fulcrum and the Force. I'm Jim and this is my channel dedicated to everything Star Wars. So here we are with my review of the second half of the Book of Boba Fett. I wanted to give it a little bit of time to make sure that everybody had actually seen the show, because I didn't want to give out spoilers for people that hadn't checked it out. So it's very difficult to release something like a couple of days later because people haven't seen it and then they spoil it, and I don't want anybody to be spoiled by anything. So I thought I'd give it a good few weeks and then come into it. Also gives me a chance to rewatch it, reprocess, and put it all together a bit more. So the second half of the show really picked up. Like, a lot of people were complaining, because people do, that it was taking too long to do anything. Everything was flashbacks. We wanted to deal with what was going on here and now. Now, I wouldn't necessarily say the show did that in a quick way. I think they still took their time with that, but they definitely moved the story forward in an unusual way. Not a bad way at all, just an unusual way. So we had episode 4 where it kind of blends that part in Mando with when Boba meets Fennec Shan and saves her and gets all her internals fixed. At the same time, he's trying to get his ship back, and they're at Jabba's palace, and there's the whole thing there, and then he's in his ship and the Sarlacc pit and the seismic charge and the boom. I mean, that sound is everything. Like, if Attack of the Clones gave us nothing else, it gave us that sound. And it's just everything. I mean, lucky that it was facing sideways when it went off, because if it was facing upwards, that would have been a bad idea. But they killed the Sarlacc. The infamous Sarlacc. And obviously he was still trying to find all of his armor and that. We know where that goes with Mando and stuff, but it was very cool seeing them two together, actually starting their sort of relationship together and fighting alongside of each other, and him saying, listen, you're free to go, and she's like, no, I'm gonna stick around. Fennec Shan, like, come on, she's the best, like, no lie, just the best. And so it felt like things were kind of moving on, and like, okay, so we're caught up now, you know. Obviously he was in the desert for many years, but we're caught up now. He's back to tank, he's fully healed, it's time to go, let's move on, let's hit the next stage of the story. Chapter 5, an episode of The Mandalorian. It was weird. Like, it was a weird sort of tangent to go on, because episode 5 didn't even feature Boba Fett at all. Like, he wasn't there. I even put up a picture, like, missing. If seen, please return to the Book of Boba Fett, because he just wasn't there. It was an episode. I mean, it wasn't. It was an episode of The Mandalorian. I love The Mandalorian. I have no problem with the episode as an episode of The Mandalorian. It just felt weird to be in the Book of Boba Fett. Like, I knew where they were going with it, because obviously they needed to bring Din Djarin into Boba's story so that they could help fight. But it felt weird that it was an entire episode that could have... When I first saw it, I was like, this feels like it's season 3, episode 1 of Mando. And maybe they could have done that season 3, episode 1, and just in the Book of Boba have him turn up and you go, how's he here? And then it's a flashback at the beginning of Mando. That's how I initially felt. So I was a little bit jarred by it. Like, it was a great episode. The Darksaber, him not being able to wield it, him just cutting dudes. Like, that dude in half. Incredible. Messing himself up, you know. But then, obviously, he gets back to Tatooine, and it's amazing. Like, you have the whole bit before where he's like, you're not Mandalorian because you took your helmet off. I'd argue with the Darksaber, you're more of a Mandalorian than the armor is. Whatever, that sets up what's going on in Mando season 3, you know. What's going to go on with Mandalore We saw a little bit of the flash of the Night of the Thousand Tears. More of that, please. I'm really psyched to see where Mando Season 3 goes, because they're going to Mandalore. Flat out, they're going to Mandalore, and we're going to see who's going to rule it. I'm hoping for the return of Bo-Katan, and that whole scenario, incredible. But this episode, he heads back to Tatooine and looking for a new ship. Thinks he's getting a new Razor Crest. And instead, he gets the N1 Starfighter, the Naboo Starfighter, and like, it's such a cool ship. It's such a cool ship. And when it was basically like an amazing montage, and they rebuilt it, and it's all silver with the elements of yellow, which is very much like the Razor Crest. It just felt like it was his. It felt like it was his ship, but like a whole new element to it. I love the Razor Crest, I do, and I do hope to see a return of it. Maybe if they could figure out a way that the M1 could kind of slot into it, kind of like how the Phantom does into the Ghost. They could make them fit together. So like, put that in orbit and then he go down. Anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. N1 Starfighter, sound was amazing. We had Beggar's Canyon. We had all of the good stuff. And it was super cool, and it was so nice to see. And we got a little BD unit, which was really nice. BD units are incredible. And so, and at the end of it, Fennec turns up and she's like, oh, we need your help. And he's like, I need to go and see Grogu first. I thought that was going to happen in Mando Season 3. No. Chapter 6 comes in, boom, straight away. Head down, we're going to see Grogu. And I'm like, but Grogu's with Luke. What the hell? Lands, R2's there, and I'm like... Chapter 6 of the Book of Boba Fett gave me so much when it comes to Star Wars. It gave me everything that I love, and it really just filled me with just absolute joy. Seeing R2, incredible, and like the spider droid's building something, they're like building a bench, and he just goes to sleep. I'm here for that, that's for sure. And then when he wakes up and Ahsoka Tano's there, and I'm just like, wait, Ahsoka's in the same place as Luke. Like there. My 3 favourite characters are Luke, Ahsoka, and Kanan Jarrus, and I'm just like, Ahsoka, obviously being Anakin's Padawan, and then we get to see Luke, and I thought if they were going to show Luke, they'd show him from far away, and they wouldn't get into it because there was the whole thing at the end of Mando Season 2 where people weren't overly happy with the CG of Luke. And they just went, watch what we can do now. And we had an entire montage of Luke and Grogu and training, and Luke being Luke, and I loved it so much. And it was just, we got to see him use his lightsaber, and we got flashbacks from Grogu of Order 66, and you're like, this is insane. This is everything Star Wars. And then, obviously, Ahsoka tells Mando that he needs to leave. Mando leaves him with the little pouch of chain mail that he's made from his spear. I'm a bit gutted about that. I like the spear, but he can't have a spear, a gun, and the Darksaber. It's a bit much. So then you have the moment between Ahsoka and Luke. And I'm like, yep, thanks very much. Thanks for making me, just cry. I'm tearing up now. Just cry. Because I'm like, that's the moment I've been wanting as a Star Wars fan for a long, long time. Obviously, Ahsoka's not an original trilogy. She's very much later. But I love her character. I love her character arc. I love where she starts and where she carries on to. And for them to have that moment, and when she's like, so much like your father, it's just like, wow. This is why I love Star Wars, because it brings that emotion up in you, and you're just like, the stories they're telling are so good. When they get it right, it's everything. It's just everything. So then, obviously, at the end, we have the whole bit where Luke's like, well, here's a lightsaber. Here's some chainmail. Pick one. And again, I'm like, oh, that's Mando season 3. Again, no, it wasn't. So we go straight into chapter 7, which is the big battle. The big battle between Boba and the Pikes. It wasn't a war like it was kind of meant to be. Not meant to be, but kind of slated as. It's just like there's going to be this war. It was a skirmish. It was definitely a battle, but it wasn't a war. It was nice to see Chrysanthemum, the biker gang. I know a lot of people don't like them, and with the spin, and I know people don't like that, but I dug it. Like, it's fun. Just, we have heart and then we have fun. That's what Star Wars should be, and that's what it was. And then obviously the X-wing turns up. Grogu gets out. It's like, of course he's just rocking in an X-wing now. And so we have the reunion of Grogu and Mando, and that's perfect. All ready for season 3. Incredible. It's a great battle. It's so much fun. The bit where Mando and Boba Fett are like back to back shooting, and it's like, yes, all the action. Give me all the action, and that was super fun. And then we had the Rancor, and they basically was just like, here, have everything, and we're gonna have this battle. And Cobb Vanth is back. Cad Bane. I know I'm jumping all over the place, but it's how I remember it, and it's just like, Cad Bane. I love Cad Bane, and people are like, shouldn't have killed him off. I don't actually think he's dead. However, he is old. He's super old. He's older than his species live. So it wouldn't surprise me if they did kill him off there. I don't think he is. I think they'll use him for something else. But a lot of people are like, you bring him in live action just to kill him. Well, I mean, if you want to see Cad Bane, there's countless episodes of Clone Wars and Bad Batch that you can watch with him in. So he is around. But it was good to see him in live action. And it was just, there was so much going on in that last episode. It was like, an hour long, and it was just like full on. Pew, pew. Great fun. Fennec obviously taking everybody out. Legend. Gamorreans. And it was full on. It was a full on end of season. I'm not convinced by the ending. Like, at the end of it, Boba's like, yeah, this isn't a place for me to rule. I think I'll leave it in charge of someone else. It's just like, you've just spent the entire series going, I'm here to rule. And now you're like, well, maybe I'm not. So I don't know. I don't know where they're going with that. There's a lot up in the air where, is there going to be a season 2? Is there not going to be a season 2? I at this point, don't think it needs a season 2. I think you can bring Boba in Mando somewhere and have him help Mando with whatever he's going on to kind of fill out the end of Boba's story that way. I don't think we need a season 2 on Tatooine. I think that part's done. And he's broken the rule of the Pikes and everything. And he's kind of set it up to be a better city, better planet. Cool. Bit weird that he just walks away, but cool. So yeah, and that was it all in its entirety. I've seen a lot of mixed reviews, and I've seen a lot of mixed reactions, and I'm like, I don't know what more I could want from it. Did it miss out on a few characters that I was hoping would turn up? Yeah, I wish Boss could turned up. Maybe Dengar, Forlom. I'm a big fan of all those bounty hunters, but everything we got was great, and I think it was a really good show and kind of filled in the bits that we were missing for Mando and expanded on the universe as a whole. And that's all you could want from a Star Wars show, I think. And overall, I really, really enjoyed it, and I would happily watch it all over again. I've watched Chapter 6, I think, the most. I think I've watched it about 7 times, because it is, for me, that episode is everything that I want from Star Wars. I think the only thing it was missing was a lightsaber fight, but we got lightsabers, so I was happy enough. But let me know what you think. Do you think there's going to be a season 2? Do we think this is the end of Boba's story? Is he going to come back? Are we going to see more of him? What is going on? What do we think is going to happen in season 3 of Mando? So many questions. We're going to have to wait for the answers, because we've got Kenobi coming next, which is going to be exciting. So yeah, let me know what you think. As always, please subscribe. Please like the video. Hit the bell so you don't miss any more videos. Got lots of new content coming up. So it's going to be a good year. Good Star Wars year, and I'm really looking forward to it. But until next time, don't forget, we are one with the Force, and the Force is with us.